What if you could get a daily summary of all your newsletters about any topic delivered automatically to Slack, Telegram, or even your email? So, I asked Manu if it was possible to build a workflow that automatically reads my AI newsletters, summarizes them, and sends everything to Slack. And well, this is how he answered.
Hi Thais, of course we can do that. This is the workflow that does exactly what you want. So it's a workflow that runs every day, that reads the emails of a mailbox that is dedicated to receive newsletter about AI. It's analyzing all the emails received in the last 24 hours, and it's writing a high-level summary on Slack with one main topic and a selection of 3 to 5 interesting articles to read. So this workflow is using 3 tools. The first one is Gmail, of course. It's connected to Gmail to get the emails that have been sent in the last 24 hours. DeepSeek, so it's the AI I decided to use to write the post, so to analyze the emails and to write what is posted here on Slack. And of course, it's also connected to Slack so we can post. It's quite simple to connect those tools to n8n. You just need to read the documentation and you will find the documentation near the credential every time here. So you open the doc and you follow this and you have your tool connected to your n8n workflow. That's very simple. Okay, so now I will show you node by node how this workflow works. At the end of the video, I will give you 3 ideas about how you can make this workflow evolve to make it even better. And if you have other ideas, drop them in the comments so you are also helping others by inspiring them with your cool ideas. Okay, let's go node by node. The first node is the schedule trigger node. This is a very handy node when you want to trigger a workflow periodically. So you can configure it to choose on what unit you want to trigger. So in our case, we want days, but we could have chosen every weeks. We want it every 1 day, so it will be every single day. And we want it to be run at 9 a.m. and 30 minutes, so 9:30. Important things to know, the time zone. If you want to change the time zone, you can do it here in n8n and settings. And here you have the time zone that you want to use for your workflow. The second node is the Gmail node. So it's connected to this Gmail address, an address that is only receiving emails about newsletter about AI, with the resource message and the operation get many. I don't want to return all the emails, that would be too much. I want to return 50 emails maximum. And I don't want to simplify the emails. If I simplify the emails, I will only receive the snippet of the email and not the full content. And what I want in that workflow is to get all the emails so the AI can analyze it. That's the core of the idea. So I need to not check the simplify checkbox here. That's important. Then I want to have a filter, the filter received after. So we select only the emails that have been sent in the last 24 hours. And for this, it's very handy and you need to know this n8n feature. So in an n8n field in any node, you can write code, right? So this is code. So I will just show you how I did that. I had the filter received after. So you see I can select a time. So I could say after the 22. Okay, why not? But I want it dynamic. I want it since the last day. So for this, I need to check expression here. Here, instead of that, I write this little snippet. So double bracket and the now. This is a shorthand that points to the current time. Very handy to use. And I want to do an operation -1 days. So this will select all the emails that have been sent in the last 24 hours. So when I run it, I receive this response. So I see that I have a lot of things, including the content of the email. Let's continue to the next node, the filter node. So that's an important node and very useful also. And I added that to filter all the emails that are coming from Google. I don't want them. You see in that email, even if I'm subscribed to a lot of interesting newsletters, sometimes Google is sending me alert or whatever, and I don't want those. So for this, I add the filter node. So we see that we have 8 items coming, and we run this node, and we have 7 items in the output. So this means that we have filtered and removed all the emails that are coming from Google. Okay, then I have a limit node that is not activated, but I leave it in my workflow, because if I want to work on my workflow again, it's very good to be able to quickly limit. So I just activate it, and it's limiting to 3 items. It's not to put in production, right? It's just during the development. So we use less elements. It's to save tokens when we will go to the AI a few nodes after. We will send less elements to the AI, so we consume less credits, etc. So this is while I'm developing, I like to work on a little selection of elements, not all the elements. So I have a limit node that is here, but right now I will not use it since I'm doing a demonstration. Then we have an additional node, the set node. Let me refresh when sometimes an item bugs a bit, and it's the most simple thing is just to refresh and to relaunch. And we see that we have our 7 items that are coming in and 7 items that are going out. So what are we doing in that node? We are just selecting the value we want to use in our system that we want to send to the AI. We just want text. We don't want to send everything. That's really too much. We want to have only the text that is sent to the AI. So we have this node, the set node. It's the most used node in n8n, and we don't check include other input fields, and we pass the text. So we pass the text and we name it text. So what we receive is the full object with all the data. You see we have the text, we have the text as HTML and HTML. So we have 3 versions of the text, of the content of the email, and we don't need all of them. What we need is a text. It could also work with HTML or text as HTML, depending on what we want to do. But in our case, the text is enough. So we have something clean with just the text, and we removed all the rest that we don't want, right? Okay. Then we have the aggregate node. Yeah, aggregate node. So aggregate node is a very handy node when you are working in n8n globally, but very often when you work with the AI, with AIs, because n8n works a bit, the way n8n works is a bit special. You need to understand that. I explained it in a lot of videos, but I think it's very important. And when I see beginners, they don't grasp that immediately. So that's very important to understand. n8n is executing one node with an array of elements. So with a list of elements. So this node receives 7 items. It's working 7 times, and then it sends the list to the next node. So this node is also executed 7 times. So you can see this node gets 8 items, sends 8 items to this one. This filters send to this, that is sending 7 and 7, etc. And what we want with the AI is to have the AI that is working one time with all the emails at the same time. So this is why we needed to aggregate all the items into one list of items. So this node receives a list of 7 items and returns a list of 1 item, and this item is a list of 7 items. So let's look. You see that it's receiving, we can go in table like that, it's receiving the 7 content of all the emails. So we see this is one email, this is another email, etc. So it's a list of 7 emails, and it returns a list of 1 element that contains all the text of all the emails aggregated all together. So we have a big object here with all the body of all the emails sent in the last 24 hours. Okay, you follow? I know it's a bit technical, but by sharing this with you, I hope that I'm giving you the knowledge that you need to build your own workflow. So when you understand that, you already understand a lot about N8N. And then we want to summarize all those emails and send them and turn them into a message that we are sharing on Slack. And for this, we use this node. So this is the basic LLM node. No, maybe this is the agent node. I don't know. And what we want to pass is all the data here. So all the data. So we do something like that here, like that. And we have an object with all the text of all the emails. And here we have a prompt where we give the assistant the mission. So we explain you are an AI assistant specialized in analyzing multiple newsletters. Your job is to extract the main topic and summarize it clearly for a Slack post. So we give some instruction, an example of the output, some rules, some notes, etc. Of course, you can fine tune, and I invite you to fine tune this prompt to what you want, what you need. And when we execute this, let's see, it's calling DeepSeek. And we receive the output here that is ready to be shared on Slack. Okay, so this is a very handy node, AI agent node. You can connect it to an AI model. Of course, you can connect it to another model, like, I don't know, OpenAI chat model. You could use OpenRouter to have multiple model, or I think Anthropic Cloud is very good also. But in our case, we want to use DeepSeek for the sake of experimentation. Okay, and here we have our output ready. And the last thing we want to do is to send a message on Slack. So we add the Slack node. We connect it to our credential. We choose the resource message, send. We choose send message to. You could also send a message to you, but we want to post it into a channel. And here the ID of the channel. So to find the ID of the channel, it's simple. It's in the URL here of the Slack channel, and it's the last chunk here that you can just pass here. Okay, so in the message text here, we put what we receive from the AI. So as always, we just drag and drop the output here, and we click on execute step, and we see that in Slack we have our main topic here and a selection of 3 to 5 interesting articles. And to conclude this video, I want to share with you 3 ideas about how you can make this workflow evolve. The first one would be to send this also to WhatsApp or to Telegram. For example, using the Telegram node, send a message, something like that could be an idea, not only on Slack or on Discord or by email even. Why not? The second idea is to add complementary research about the most interesting topic using Perplexity. So it's adding a tool. You see that here you can add some tools to the AI, so the AI can decide to use the tool you are giving it, and you can use Perplexity tool like that. So the AI has the possibility to do research about the topic that it's selected. So the post on Slack can be even more interesting. So this can be also a good possibility to improve that workflow. And the third idea that I had is to implement other news source like a RSS news API or X API and wire not only to emails but also to other sources. And probably that if you do that, you will need to store the articles, everything into a database. So probably the workflow will evolve in something more complex with one first workflow that is filling the database with content using an AI that format everything, and a second workflow that runs and gets all the content of the database and writes the post. So this is probably a more mature version of that workflow. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope this workflow was helpful for you. If you have ID suggestion, question, really feel free to write in the comments or to join our free community on Skool. You will find the link in the description, of course. And thank you, and see you around with another workflow. Bye-bye.
If you like this workflow, hit the like button and tell me in the comments which app would you use to get your daily summaries: Slack, Telegram, or email. And don't forget to subscribe for more automation tutorials with AI and N8N. Join our free community, the AI Atelier. The link is in the description. Have a great journey.